Great to see everybody. Though I don't see anybody. Nothing personal. I just can't see anybody.
You
Although
see
I
me.
see you, Lily. How you doing, hon?
I'm fine. How are you? Well, I will say I am sick. Y'all, I apologize in advance. I'm sick. I'm nasally. I'm just gross. So
Damn, I wish I looked as good as you do when I'm sick.
well,
I can't even look good on a good day. Thank God for hats. How do you women put up with long hair? I've
I
only had
would
it
wear a
for
hat if I had this big old headset.
Well, what a pain in the butt long hair is. Look at me talk. Gee whiz.
Either way, if you hear me sneezing or anything, I apologize, you guys. I am so sorry. But Lily is here. That's what's important. I'm here.
Thank you, Lily. We do appreciate that. Let me start this over for you. This is news that I've accumulated over the last maybe 10 days off from the OTC market. It's headline news. It's deals, acquisitions, great news here. You can read it while she and I gab a little bit, or you can just listen to us and come back and look at it in a recorded version. So it has been one heck of a week. Not too great. Oops, I'm on the wrong. I can't change. Sorry. I can't see you. I got to look at another screen to see you. There you is.
There you go.
I was just paying attention here. We had a SPAC. You know, we've been watching these warrants with SPACs, been accumulating them. Been a real slow week, I guess. Yeah, slow week for the warrants. There are some nice gains, you know, 50, 80%. But we haven't had any big rippers here recently. But right now, we just had IPAX. IPAX was a SPAC that got with Intuitive Mechanics or Mechanisms or something like that.
Yeah.
And their ticker is Lunar, L-U-N-R. Well, it just got their name and ticker today. The deal closed and, well, it jumped from $10 up to $51
yeah, it was like
today.
$50-something. It's a beauty.
And I was paying attention to it I got into the warrant. I got into the warrant earlier today, and I've just been watching it. It's kind of been consolidating after the first initial run. And I was watching the charts, and both of them look pretty nice at 3 o'clock. And I said, you know what? I think there's going to be a breakout on both of them. And boy, was there. I've still got my chart up. I'm still glancing over there because these can trade after market. And if I run away, it's because I'm grabbing the gains on an extreme run after market. So the warrants have been keeping us busy. As a matter of fact, let me address the issue here of NVSAW. That is one of the SPAC warrants. A lot of us had played that. My brother-in-law played it. A bunch of us played it. I actually didn't play it, and I'll tell you why. Because I had enough money to invest in one more SPAC, and I actually flipped a coin. Literally, I flipped a coin. Am I getting NVSAW or NV Law? And MV Law got the coin toss. So that's the only reason I wasn't in it. Well, what happened is a week ago, they put out a news press. They were having a vote to extend the deadline. So they were in the mood to still look for a deal, which meant they were going to be investing more money. That extra time doesn't come free. So they looked like they were moving forward. So people jumped in on that good news. Well, it wasn't anything but a news press. It wasn't a filing. So the very next week, yesterday, they changed their mind. They said, we're not going to have a vote. We're not going to extend the time. We're just going to close our doors and liquidate. Yeah. And the shareholders are protected. They're getting their money back at the end of liquidation. Warrants, it's every man for themselves. And as soon as that came out, it dropped from 10 cents all the way down to 0.001, I think.
Yeah, it bottomed.
Yeah.
It went to 0.008 at one point.
If you're caught with warrants, you don't get anything back for warrants. So everybody's looking for a buyer, and who the hell wants to buy anything on a boat going underwater? So people got stuck. It's a sad shame. I feel a little backstab by him to give us a news press saying they're going forward and then not to go forward. I mean, just a week later say, no, we're going to liquidate. So
it doesn't surprise me that it's the first time I've seen that happen. You just have to be very careful with stuff like that. It does happen, you guys.
All right, why don't we jump on into this? We'll open up this one here. I see we've got a few already in line. We will be jumping into those. I appreciate them being here early. I didn't realize there was going to be a line of them. Speaking of, Velmore, this message is for you. I can't remember exactly what stock it was we looked at last week. I was going to look at the video. I think maybe it was AIAD. That's what Lily says. She remembers these things better than me. But we had overlooked the deal that they had made. It was the pressing point, and we never even covered it. So I overlooked it, and I had a page opened up for it. We just didn't jump over to the next page. So I got to always remember to grab all these colored pages. So my apologies for that. All right, we're going to jump into two that were asked of me to look at before the show started. One of them is Global Developments, ticker GDVM. They finished today at about 11.5 cents, just under 1%. Got both the green ticks we're looking for here. Say they're a shell company. Well, that's going to change now because the news here, as you can see, they have executed a merger with VMOS Technologies. Now, this may confuse some of you because you probably remember that VMOS was doing a reverse merger with JPX Global, I do believe it was. And that was last year. Well, things fell through and they went out looking for somebody else. So Global Developments has now done a merger with them. They tell us here that Global Developments and VMOS Technologies entered into a merger agreement through share structure. As a result of the merger, Global Holdings has been renamed VMOS Technologies, and they will be changing their ticker as well. VMOS made substantial additions to its engineering and sales team and has been recognized as Cisco Premier Partner and Integrator. If you know who Cisco is, that's a huge company on the market. VMOS has become one of the few technology companies nationwide to achieve 4 or more Cisco Advanced Specializations, putting it on the path to becoming a Cisco Gold Integrator Partner. So VMOS is somebody. So you're taking a shell company, a company that isn't making any money, hasn't got any business, getting right into the fast lane here. VMOS will be launching its own innovative cloud services and solutions in the second quarter of 2023, making it publicly available to organizations and consumers. Cloud is huge. The reason we like clouds is because they can store more data than anything else. And right now, everybody wants every bit of data they can get, what sort of toothpaste you use and how often you use it. VMOS has strategic alliances with most industry-leading security vendors, including Palo Alto Networks, Cisco Systems, and many more. So that's the catalyst. That's what's got this company moving and should have it moving because they're going to start making money now. Shouldn't see anything over here but a bunch of zeros. What do we got for share structure? I didn't look it up, but they're saying it's about 324. What else do I got over here? I don't know why I had that open. All right, I don't see anything else going on here. Everything looks pretty decent for her. She's got new business, new catalyst, probably going to have revenues here relatively soon. She's going to change her name and ticker. So remember that if you come looking for GDVM one day, don't panic. Oh, it's gone. They took it off the market. Where is it? Go check. Actually, there is a page here. You can come here each day if you want to find things up. Symbol changes. It's the very first page. And then you come over here, they've got company name changes. You can see what companies have done splits, who has dividends coming up, tier changes if they go from the pink to the expert market, caveat emptor if you just can't find it and they blocked it out. There's lots of information here. So just don't panic. Just come look through the information first. All right, let's take a look at that chart. Are we good enough for that, Lily?
Sure, yeah.
Good.
I got it pulled up right here, GDVM. This is just the last 20 days, the 1 hour. It's just an absolutely beautiful chart.
Oh, good.
Look how gorgeous that is. All the way up to 11 cents from 6 cents.
Oh, yeah.
And the 6 cents was on January 19th. So that's maybe within a month right here, you guys. Look at this. Just gorgeous. So yeah, I backed it up to the 184 hour. I mean, look at that.
Wow. Uptrending good.
It's gorgeous. Nice,
and now
solid uptrend.
Now she's got catalyst. Oh my God.
Yes. So right here, you're going to find some resistance being within this part right here where it dropped off before. But I look for it to ebb and flow, come back down a little bit, and just continue. I don't look for it to stop this trend that's been doing since, gosh, August of last year.
My goodness.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Now, when the ticker changes, that'll be even better, I think, because the news is getting settled in. We'll get a better chart to kind of see how it's going from there, because there could be a lot of buildup into this. But after that, you'll get some real data of what it's going to keep doing. It's just gorgeous. That's a good one, John. Back to you.
All right. Nice to have a stock asked to look at that's not, in a coma. I know a lot of you have been holding stocks and you're hoping to see the light. Well, if you don't see any light, chances are we're not going to see any light either. So if you're asking me to look at it, to dig around and fake something, I'm not. I'm going to give you a straight opinion. I'm kind of hoping you're going to bring me stocks that you found maybe on a chart. And it's like, what do you think of this chart? I've been doing DD like you. I found this chart. It looks hot. What do you think? Let's go find some lingering news together.
Exactly.
We can do that because I like mining. All right, let's see. We've got another one here that we can take a look at.
Do you want to look at the Kern one?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you.
All right, we've talked about this one before. EvoFem, EvoFem, she finished about 4.5 cents with about 2.5% drop on the better tier, has her financials audited, all the green ticks you need to see. So she looks in solid shape. This is a contraceptive company, and they had a big run when all those bills came out, the laws changing for contraceptives. And I think you can now buy them over the counter and you don't need an actual prescription to buy them now. Well, the company's had lots of news here recently because laws keep changing, and now insurance companies are starting to pay for contraception without having a prescription. And they've got some new products coming out here. I didn't know that they were actually creating new products, but back here in October, they were in phase 3 of EvoGuard clinical trial. Phase 3 is the end. I mean, that's coming around third base to home base. That's the time you want to be watching a company. And they had news here in January. Multiple new insurance wins expand and improve access to their drug Phexi. Costco adds Phexi to member prescription program. And then they came out with the contraceptive gel, which is also being included in their available drugs. So they got a lot going on right now. We haven't had any news, publicly about this, any outcries, any stuff like that. We did for a while. And every time the public starts talking about contraception or women's rights or Roe versus Wade, these sort of companies get a lot of attention one way or the other. So that would be something to watch for this.
That was the last time it had any kind of run up before it dropped off the NASDAQ to OTC. That was the last time EvoFem was booming.
Oh, right. She did.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with this company. I've traded it several times.
Her share structure, about 140 million. Financials, well, they took a big increase from 2020 to 2021. Huge increase, 500,000 to 8.2 million. And quarterly, they're kicking butt. 4 million, 6 million, 6 million. So yeah, they're making strong revenues right now. And we still got another quarter to add to that. So everything actually looks strong for the company. They've got new products coming out. They're in phase 3 trials. They're getting doors opened up for them to cover their products' expenses. It makes it all very appealing. So I would expect this company to continue to grow if that's what the chart looks like.
It doesn't. The chart looks awful. So I'll show you real quick, and then I'll just tell you what I know about EvoFem.
Yeah, okay. We appreciate that from a woman's point of view, considering what kind of company it is.
Well, it is nice to have a different product, of course. From a woman's point of view, that's great. It's we can't never remember the pill and taking stuff. I mean, that's a lot of memory issues. So this is a different product, and it does give a nice spin on that you have more control of that for whenever anybody wants to use that. So it has potential. Insurance companies are starting to put it on. They're starting to approve it to pay for it. So that's great. But them falling from the NASDAQ to the OTC, it's just been a flat line.
Yeah.
You can see that right here. And the problem, I don't care for EvoFem. I have traded them several times back in these days. Yeah, I traded them 2 years ago. I traded them. They are bad for doing offerings. And the management is terrible for doing like updates and stuff like that. And just they can't push what they're saying through. It never comes to fruition. And it could be just the wangs and pangs of a new product and stuff like that. But that's problematic for me. So this is not one that I buy and hold on forever because it's just going to be a big one. I don't like their management, period. Anybody else can make their own opinions. But like here's your 20-day right here, 6 cents down to 4. It's not doing much of anything. So
and
nothing.
You don't think that has a lot to do with market sentiment, or do you think it has more to do with the management of the company?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, market sentiment right now, if for whatever reason, if Roe versus Wade or anything like that was to get back into the headlines again, this one would do okay during that time. It did before. It was going crazy. But the management just does not follow through. And if they do get any kind of substantial moves, you guys, they will throw an offering so fast. So they always ruin the movement, always. And that's happened a few times with this company, even when I'm trading it. Maybe I got out right before. I even got caught in one of them. I do not like this one for that reason.
Okay, then.
Just being honest.
Experiences count.
They do. So just being honest with that one, John. Are we on the comments here yet? Are we looking at those?
Yeah, I am now looking at a comment here. I was trying to get the right information, and my pages are loading.
Well, we had one for Kern, so I didn't know if you wanted to look at. There we go.
Yeah. Perfect. Now, if I remember correctly, and I was looking for the news here, it seems to me that Akerna was a cannabis company. God, I hope I got all this right. And they sold out of all of the cannabis. They've gotten out of that, and they did a deal with who do they got there? PosiBit? Yeah, it's not PosiBit. PosiBit is who bought everything from them. BTC Miner. It is a Bitcoin operator. So they've gone from cannabis over to Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I think that's so strange. It's so different.
Cannabis is one of the most peculiar. People get into it, get out of it, from strange sectors into strange sectors. I mean, it's one hell of a pivotal business, I guess. So they're out of it now and I don't follow Bitcoin stocks, especially when Bitcoin is not really performing all that great. There's companies out there that are doing well. They're holding assets. When Bitcoin starts doing better, their assets are instantly going to be worth more. So I understand all that. But from the standpoint of the company, I'm sure that this is probably going to be better for them. They didn't abandon cannabis for no reason. However, in saying that, look at their revenues. It's not like cannabis was treating them bad. They were increasing in revenues every single year with their cannabis business. So, they must really see something better with the Bitcoin mining than they're getting out of cannabis. See what I mean about this thing not loading? Doggone it. So I don't know enough about the other company. I haven't done a deep dive into them. And what did the stock do today? She's at 95 cents. She was up 1%. She's on the NASDAQ. Not much. So, right now she looks like she's in transition. So you're probably going to see the stock in transition. She probably had a bump first time they heard about this news. And when the ticker changes and you see whatever they put up there, I'm sure they're not going to keep Kern. It'll probably go to BTC or something like that. Then you'll probably see another bounce on it. What's the chart look like right now? Have we had any bounces recently?
No, not really. But I'm surprised to see it still listed. This is a 6-month, 4-hour chart for you. And back here when it came down, that was in June of last year. So, and it came down hard. I mean, we're talking from like $6 to $2.65. And then we've lost the dollar probably right around this area, which is November.
Funny. I'm not seeing the price activity I would expect. This has got a low float of under 5 million.
Yeah. And I played it several times when it was cannabis, when it was Kern. I played this one several times. Them going and doing BTC and mining now, I don't know. That's just so weird to me. Like, I would want to do a lot of research on that because I haven't played them in months. But if you get closer, I mean, you can just see because of this downtrend, you see where it pops, it'll hit that top line. It cannot sustain this. Same thing here. So overall, we're in a downtrend. And it's at like 92 cents right now. Until it can get over like $1.30, $1.40 and start holding, and not just wicks, you guys, actual bars, we're starting to hold and movement going up, then this one's still going to be in a downtrend.
And you're you're going to probably want to use the Heiken Ashi bar. You know, you get a lot of dashes with your candlestick and you don't even get those wicks. You don't see where it went to. So I would suggest over there when you get to choose your candle bar, choose the Heiken Ashi. You get full bars of color with full wicks.
Yeah, it just needs to, it looks like it's trying to start to build up right now, John.
Yeah.
So if it does and continues that, then, you know, we're in a different place. But right now, I'm not impressed. It needs to do that.
I see it as being ready to break out because she's at the top of the channel. She's had a transition. We're looking. People are now waiting to see information about what's going on, just like you did, asking me about this stock. There's a lot of people who are waiting for information. And when we give them some information and satisfy that curiosity, you could see it push up to the top of that channel, and then maybe we could get a breakout.
That's what we need. And that needs to happen. And it needs to be, you know, with some strength behind it. Then you're going to start seeing different activity.
Shares, you could get it with the right kind of news. You could get those shares moving at a nice velocity. Don't hold on to it. You see a nice pop on this with that sort of share count. You need to take your green as fast as you see it.
Yeah. I'm going to add you back to the stream. There you go.
All right. I have brought up Velmore's ePass here. Let's see if I can do this justice for Velmore. They got lots of news. This is a drone company. ePass specializes in enterprise cloud business process software, metaverse solutions, blockchain, mobile apps, 500 repeat customers. They've got a couple different programs, Desk Flex, I'm quite aware of. These are products that they sell to companies to use. But a lot of their news has to do with drones here recently. They're working with artificial intelligence. Who isn't these days? And this news is all from this year. So we've got quite a lot of news here. So they're doing things. The most recent piece of news came out today. ePass was issued a utility patent for its AI predictive smart charging pad for Zenadrone 1000. That sounds clear enough, but I don't know what I'm reading. Well, probably. See, drones can only go about 15 minutes before they need charging. So you got to have, if they're going to go a distance, you got to have places for them to leapfrog all the way from charging unit to charging unit. And this may be something that they've got going on here. And it is a big deal. I mean, there are lots of businesses and companies looking to use drones for all sorts of stuff, from security to monitoring to agriculture to even weapons. You know, they're using them for everything right now. So this is a growing, booming sector into areas we just don't even know yet how many uses we could come up. But we do know that you're going to need a charging unit, whatever business you're in. So it's a product that's going to have universal uses across a lot of different sectors. Share structure on ePass. We got roughly 300 million shares, I'm presuming. They give us a low float down here, but it's always outdated. So I just take the worst. If it's better, great. Financials for ePass. They're doing 1.9 million, but look at this. Why aren't they paying anything? I mean, unless they're just using their programs. Now, like I said, they've got programs. Doesn't cost anything to sell a program. It's just digital information. And look, that's exactly what's going on. Looks like they're working with all digital information they can duplicate and sell. It doesn't cost you a bloody penny to do that. It is one of the best businesses you can be in. There's no overhead except paying your management. All right, let's take a look at this chart. I get the feeling she's done something. She had a 10% gain today, and she just broke a half a penny, and she looks good.
Yeah, I done messed myself up, John. Hold on. There we go. Can you hear me? Did I mute myself? I have no idea.
No, you sound good. No, okay, good. No nasally or nothing.
Okay, I'm trying. Anyway, this chart, this is your 4-hour chart. It's in an uptrend. You can see it was in breakout mode, and it's revisiting to see if it's going to hold there. And that's what you want to look for. It has to hold above this, or we're going back into this trend.
Wow,
so I just wanted to show that
coming out from underneath the recession line.
Yep. So I wanted to show that real quick, and you see how it's touching the top of that line, which would have been resistance before. Boom. Should be support now. So if it's going to do that, then I think it's got more potential to continue moving upward. So that's where we're at right now, is trying to make that decision. So if not, if it comes back in, it's going back into that channel.
After a big surge like that, you got to expect it. I expect it at least to fall 50%. I mean, if it goes about above that, great. But I look for it to come right in the middle. And if it lands in the middle, I feel good. That's normal.
You can look for it to, if it hits this middle line right here and wants to hold and consolidate there, which is around 0.004, then it could build back up. If it's going to continue, you guys, if not, this moves over, it'll just come back in this channel and keep doing what it was doing before. Just this little, consolidation mode, which is because that's where it went, John. It went from 0026 to 1 cent today, 0.0114.
Just under 500% gains, 400%.
Yeah, it was a nice move.
Yeah,
so keep an eye on that. The top of that channel and where it touched before, I'll give you the bottom of this bar is 005, but it may revisit the middle area of this range. So just keep an eye on that. If it's going to continue, though, it'll pick up from here.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, looks like Jerome Horace has got his ticker in the queue. I do believe he was here before I was. This is SMC Entertainment. Nothing like having people in sleeping bags at the door, right? Excuse me.
That's the best. Get theirs in.
All right. This company sounds familiar to me. I look at a lot of companies. I forget more than I remember, I'm sure. SMC is a versatile holdings company focused on acquisition and support, blah, blah, blah. Fintech companies. Anything jumping out at me here? Genesis, Australian? No, they're in Florida. Don't see it. It looks like they're a fintech company. That's about all I can see right here. Let's take a look at their share structure real quick. Not a great share structure, but we're not going to cry. About 300 million. Got all of her green ticks over here. She's pink and current. Had about 4% gains today at about 1/5 of a penny, actually 1/4 of a penny, but she's a shell risk. That's a concern. That means she's in business and not reporting revenues. That's a problem. News. What's going on over here? Well, we've had news here recently, and of course they're involved with AI. Who isn't? SMC signs letter of intent to acquire AI-enabled wealth management technology platform. And Entertainment requests OTC Markets to lift stock promotion button, which they did. There's a little red speakerphone, megaphone they put up here when the company is doing a promotion. And it's not a bad thing. It's just to warn you that if you see any activity on the stock, it could be just from promotion and not from real material change. It's just to keep you in the loop. Well, here recently, the OTC Markets has done that a few times, put up that red ticker when it's not true. And the companies get upset about that. They don't want it up there. So I can't answer to what's going on there. And then the last one is their review. Revenues of 10.7 million. That doesn't sound too bad. Where's the revenues? Where's the revenues?
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, what happened there? What did it say? Genesis, that's their subsidiary, post second quarter 2022 financial statement, 6 months revenue of 10.7 million and a gross profit of 2.2 million. Well, for goodness sake, we don't have that information over here. And that's pretty vital information. That's bleak. That just doesn't, I wouldn't be impressed. What the heck? Total All right. I would actually, presuming that they have quarterly report here for September. There's their most recent quarterly report. I would jump into that and see. That's where you're going to get the information. But they claim they've got $10.2 million revenues when everything here says they got zip. Big difference. Huge difference. And if I even want to consider the stock or not. Outside of that, I don't see anything here that looks bad for the company. That news, well, they're getting into AI, and AI is always making things better, so they tell us. So let's go take a look at that chart, Lily.
All right. So if you're seeing it, like I have the trend because it's pretty much flat, but it keeps popping out. And it didn't hold it back here, you guys. This is just a 1 hour chart. Didn't hold it back here. I don't look for it to hold it here. And the reason why, I'll show you the last year. overall, we're in a downtrend. You see that? So, I mean, just to give you an idea. See those lines? We're in a downtrend still. It has to get out over that and hold, and it's not doing that yet. So right now, we're just going sideways, keeps popping out, maybe with news. Maybe sometimes the news drop, and it just pops out real quick. So we're usually sitting around 001, and then it'll pop about 004 area, and then give it back.
Yeah,
so it is trying to hold right here.
I'd look for it to drop back to that 001.
Yeah, I'm looking for it too, or very close.
Yeah,
I look for it to do that again. So
because you're going to get a lot more gains just from
trends
your
and
positioning.
patterns in the market is important, you guys. So unless it's going to show a different trend, which is holding above this and building up, then you need to wait for it to come back in and to do its normal pattern. And then you might get some gains here. Okay? That's what I would do. Be patient.
I kind of agree with all of that.
Be patient there.
But those are some huge pops. And those are
a
couple of big pops in what? The last week? The last 10 days?
Yeah, I'll look at it real quick. I mean, that's a 1 hour. So yeah, this one happened on the 26th of January. And this one right here is probably recent, yesterday. It was yesterday. This is today's.
That's pretty good considering that she's got like 300 million shares.
Yeah, I'll look at the 5-minute for today. See, it's just kind of going meh. And it touched the top of that trend. It's wanting to hold over it. But like I said, give it some time. Let it prove itself. You could always, if you were interested in this one, get a position in this area and then set your stops. Because if it comes back into this, you already know what's happening. It's giving it up. So, but you got time here to make a nice play on this one if you want to.
Back to me.
Right. Back to you, John. Let me put yours back up. There you go. I did it.
I'm just browsing around over here at ENZC. MBS, hey, good to see you over here too. I like seeing your names in different places over at Twitter. Although I get it, some of you have to use different names on different media sites, and I'm getting to know your pseudonym. So, hi everybody, whoever you are today. All right, so we got ENZC Enzolytics. Oh, I remember looking at this. We're at 6 cents. She had over 10%, over 11% gains today. Looks good. She's current on the pink market, got all her green ticks. We do have some recent news here. Yeah, didn't we? I feel I just talked about this. They're into an anti-HIV therapeutic.
We did, John.
Right? Okay, I thought
we did. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, but yeah.
Right, because I had said people still think HIV is important. I'm surprised. Yeah, so we haven't got any new news here, and this is from the 8th. I don't know if there's been any real change, but then maybe MBS wasn't here last week. Maybe somebody else asked about it. So they've got, so that we don't rush through that, that is really the only current piece of news we had. Enzolytics to develop feline monoclonal antibodies. So obviously they're a research and development company. Are they making any money? A little bit. Most of your research and development companies are spending money to pay for the research. And if they don't have anything that they've hit the mark on to sell, they're not making any money. Oh, and the only place they get that money to pay the bills is from their investors, little ones or the big ones. So, we haven't looked at the share structure here. That's what I was expecting. They got to keep, making money to pay for their research. You end up with a lot of shares. And they are pretty much tapping out here. They had 3 billion shares authorized. They've already put 2.3 billion on the market. They've got another 700 million they can put out there. And if they're not making money, you can count on them coming out here. So I don't see it as, they may have things in the pipeline, some more research, but unless they're in phase 3 of any of these trials, it could be a long wait. I mean, 3 to 5 to 7 years before they get anything. Do you really want your money tied up that long?
Well, they might be watching it because the chart does look good today, John. Look at that. So this is a 4-hour chart, but you can see where it's popped out several times. This is what we discussed. It keeps popping out, and I'm pretty sure that's what I was saying. It was probably right around this area to watch it, and it may build back up. The problem is it does not hold, which causes the trend to be just sideways. but that doesn't mean you can't get some action, some love from this 3 to 5 cents area, and that's pretty much what it's been doing. Now, if it decides to hold, then our trend is changing, which will be good. But right now, that's all we're seeing. So currently, it's on a run, ending with some green bars right at 6 cents. It looks good here. Problem is, I wouldn't touch it because I wasn't already in it from back here when it started to build up. And it might have been me telling you the 50-day. I can't remember exactly what we said last time, but it held, it's consolidated there, and it just moved right on up. But
it's landed real nicely after hitting that high bubble at the end of the day. It's pulled back, normal, hit a high bubble, you do a pullback, and she's landed smack dab on her 9-day SMA. That's not a bad position. I mean, she's not under it, but she is a long ways away from her 20-day SMA. And the further these SMAs get apart, you have to expect the rubber band effect to come into play. So
it's coming back down to this area. So it's going to revisit because it's going to see if the trend's going to continue. If not, it'll revisit this area. And if it can't hold there, it's going to jump right back into the trend, the overall trend that I was showing you on the 4-hour. So we'll see. This one right here, I'd be patient on too. If it pulls back and then wants to continue, then I would look for a play there. But right now, it's pretty strong right here. I give it some room. It needs to come back down in this area, which is what, like for 5 cents?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe a little above 5 cents.
Which would be a nice buying opportunity. But again,
if it continues.
I'll play any chart. If the stock is moving, has momentum, has volume, it's not about what are they doing right now. I don't care. I don't care what's going on. If the chart's moving, the chart's moving. So as an investment, I don't like the company, but I like that chart. The chart's got activity. It's got some gains to be taken from it.
Yeah.
So it does have people that follow this stock. It's got some liquidity, and that's never a bad thing with the chart.
No. So just play it appropriately, and there is some gains to be made here.
Right. Nice run at the end of the day. I'd like to know what made that happen.
Yeah, it was a good run at the end of the day. So that's what I'll be checking into. And then, if it's going to continue, great. If not, give it time. And there's definitely an entry point into that one for the next pop that it might have. We got APBH.
Yeah, this says Aramat 33. Well, I'm glad you realized that you could post your ticker here, even if you're not here. I love that. It's kind of like takeaway. It's great. So I couldn't find a description for what App Harvest is here. App Harvest is a sustainable food company in Appalachia, developing and operating some of the world's largest high-tech indoor farms with robotics and, of course, artificial intelligence to build a reliable, climate-resilient food system. And this, I do believe, is the most current piece of news that they've got right now. This came out not too long ago, a week. Public offering. They're putting $40 million worth of shares on the market. So just to make the math easy, we're at roughly $1. So they're putting roughly 40 million shares onto the market. Just a wee bit more than that, probably. They are at 93 cents, had about 4% drop today. What is their current share structure? Well, outstanding shares is 100 million. So we know it's not over that in the float. But they're now throwing another 40 million on that, which is... what? That's virtually 40%. That's a 40% dilution. You got 100, they're putting another 40 out there. Matter of fact, I saw that the other day with the company, doggone it, can't remember who it is. It'll come to me here in a minute. They put 11 million shares. It's coming to me. They've got a drug for lymph node myeloma or whatever it's called. And the committee came back and said, you can go forward with your phase 3 trials. And they put out 11 million shares. Well, the stock fell 60%. Well, they had 55 shares outstanding. They put another 10 on the market. That's a 20% dilution, and the stock dropped 60% yesterday. It was a buy-in. There was 40% of gains to be had right there. Stupid play. So right here, we're looking at a little bit of about 40% dilution, which isn't little. I mean, you're talking almost half right there. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't see anything over here about building anything. What's this one? Public offering. When was this one put out? Okay, that's on the 8th. They talk about it a lot. I'm trying to find some news here. App Harvest begins commercial shipments from first harvest at New Richmond, 60-acre high-tech indoor farm. So they should be making some money. They did jump. They went in 2020 from zip to 9 million, but oh my God, it cost them 41 million to make 9 million. So they were in debt, 32 million the first year they were making money. They were better doing nothing at all. But when you startup companies, that's what they are. They're alligators. They eat a lot. So you got to feed them a lot. Oh, all we can say here is they're losing money at a lower rate. This is how much their bottom
but consistently losing money.
Yes. Let's just look at their balance sheet. See if that's any better. Actually, it is. Look, they got total assets here of about $500 million. They've got total liabilities of less than $250 million. So they got twice as many assets as they do liabilities. And yet they're not making money the right way. Somebody's got to teach them the right way to do that because that is not working. Disclosures, anything important over here? We did have an 8K just come out. These are juicy normally. If they pop up, to heck with you. We'll go PDF. More than one way to skin a filing. This is 8K. Anything important here? Let's see. So you can see with me there. Representations, warranties, representations. I don't see anything jumping out. Pricing prospectus. Oh, this is about them putting shares on the market. Of course it is. They've got a lot of them right there. Right there, your 42s. Those are about shares being put on the market. So that's what you got going on. That's all the news. That's all the filings. I don't see anything except back in October when they started shipping some products to another company. Outside of that, I don't see anything happening here except huge dilution. Does the chart look like anybody's happy?
It did. You can see right there where they started talking about the offering. Oh. And there it is, like on the 8th, 7th, 8th, bam, this happened. So wow. It was doing really well around 4 cents back here. We came up to a high of about, I think 30. No, that's $3.01.
And what was that
your
drop?
High. The drop went all the way down to about 85 cents. From oh gosh, 270s. Yeah, so 270s with these wicks, but
so basically it dropped about 60%.
Yeah, it was a nice run, and it looked like it was trying to build up to break out, and they just killed it with that news. Bam.
So again, overkill. It was a 40% dilution, but the stock dropped 60%.
Yeah.
So there is a 20% spread there where there's a safe margin of investment. Wow.
Yeah, so the problem here is we've dropped under that trend line now, 85 cents, kind of consolidating, hitting around 96 cents or so, maybe $1.02. And it's not really doing anything, you guys. And until it starts picking back up, it's done. So I'm not interested.
No.
What's that, John?
It comes back up inside the bottom of that channel.
Yeah, I would like to see it there, but you can also watch it right here and see if it starts doing something besides sideways. Could go down more, could start going up. If it does, then you can look at it, but you'll have resistance here because you have a lot of people that probably got trapped in this, $2 to $3 area. Yeah. If they weren't paying attention. So you're going to have some resistance coming back up if it tries to, because they're wanting to get their money. Or they're wanting to say, okay, $1 is good enough. I'll sell it, So you might have some resistance going back up. So what they did with the offering really messed up what was happening with the inertia of this chart.
Yeah, so they better have had a good reason for it.
You could keep an eye on there. It may take time.
If you jump into the filing, they'll normally tell you the purpose, but it's normally a general statement being used to forward the company's progression. Ooh, thank you very much for that.
Okay. Yeah, and it can take time to recover from that, you guys. So just be aware.
You want to look at a stock that I got into today. This is I think I might have mentioned this while the news was going by. Lunar W. This was a SPAC, IPAX, IPAX. I had posted information on it, and they were doing a merger with Intuitive Machines, as you see now. And this is a Lunar company. They've got, I haven't actually dove into it, but I saw that the warrant was running today after I noticed the stock was running as $10 SPAC. When I looked at it, it was $32. And I said, uh-oh, when a stock becomes worth more, the warrant is worth more. That's an esteemed value that is directly given to the warrant. So I went and bought in. Well, at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, I was watching both charts, the warrant and the stock, and both of them just seemed to come over the 9, up underneath their strong SMAs, and looked like they were working together in harmony. And I posted on Discord, and I think maybe Twitter, folks, I think these are going to break out. And if the stock breaks out, the warrant should mirror it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It broke out in 315. She jumped from $32 up to 51 before she bounced back. And I don't know where she's at now. We'll have to take a look.
That was amazing.
But yeah, and the warrant took off, but not as big as I expected. So that kind of excites me, because I expect once this stock settles and slows down, people will start doing the math and say, oh, I think that warrant should be, and people will start buying. And this could go again. I mean, I got some gains right now, and I could take them, and I should probably. Anything over 20% is a valid take. But I just have this feeling that a space company, these space companies, it's like a new sector, and you got to spend a lot of money in the space sector. Nothing's cheap out in space. I mean, have you ever tried to buy a hamburger out there? Egads, everything's expensive. I know. But seriously, I got into this. She's already run. I think she's going to run some more. I think Lunar is probably going to pop just off of excitement, because it's fresh, it's new, it allows the imagination to explode. And that's what we like. We like these new adventures our minds can just go into. When Metaverse first came out, when Elon came out with the electric car and it wasn't even on the road yet, people were getting excited. Well, I think Lunar could be one of those meme stocks that people are going to be watching for a long time.
Well, not only that, our space sector seems to be heating up as well, John. Your SPCE, I think it was SIDU.
Yeah,
those are also heating up. So the charts.
Yeah, we got companies out there dealing with cement to build homes or buildings on the moon or Mars.
That's crazy to me, but I mean, you guys, things 40 and 50 years were crazy. So who knows? Who knows? I don't want to live there though. Y'all can go. You can send me a postcard. Your space mail, but I'm staying right here. Anyway, look at the chart.
Right where there's oxygen.
Exactly. So the Lunar warrant, LUNRW, 0.25 cents, or it's 25 cents this morning, and it hit 61. Well, not this morning, it's a couple of days ago, it looks like, on the 14th when it came out. So it hit 61 cents. And I guess they merged, you said? I think the ticker changed and all that stuff, John.
For which ticker?
On Lunar W.
Yeah, just today.
Yep. So that's why I only see a couple of days because of the merge. But from 25 cents to 61 cents, this is a nice run. These bars right here are extremely healthy, you guys.
Oh, I like that aftermarket action. That's why
extremely
I kept my charts
healthy.
Open.
Yeah, this is a 5-minute.
Have I missed this? I was talking to you guys. I could have sold. Look at that.
But keep an eye on it, John, because that's we do have some resistance coming in right there. But and there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of gains.
Up to 80, 90 cents.
And it might. Either way, just know what you wanting to get out with. Do not settle for, well, I guess it can come back to 40 cents. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You take some gains.
Also, folks, I said this in the video yesterday, but you've really got to pay extra attention to the spread between the ask and the bid when you're playing warrants. If you go to sell and maybe you're doing a market order because it's moving and you're just being smart, you're taking it before it falls. Look at the ask and the bid. You can have a big spread. It'll be at 48 cents, but be at 22 cents to sell. And you say, why did it cheat me? The first buy normally will push the price up. The second buy will get it closer and closer, but it just won't let you buy at 48 cents because it got there right now. So pay attention to that. I don't want you to get caught off guard.
Yeah, you gotta have the liquidity. Looks like the next one, and we got about 10 more minutes. That's why I wanted to bring this up, John. We got about 10 more minutes to get these knocked out for them.
Okay. WDLF. You switch me over, hon?
Yeah, I'll switch you over. There you go.
WDLF, Decentral Life. Covered them a while ago. All right, let's see if I can remember everything that this company was about. All right, is this the company? Let's see if I go over to the news, I should be able to. I think this is the company. Emerging growth, participate. I thought this company had these different types of, yep, there it is. All right, I was right. They create these websites, these places where if you're a hunter, you go there and you've got chat and you can talk to other hunters, but you've also got all the products, all the businesses melding into that site. So when you're talking about a certain rifle, maybe you can go look at that rifle at the store right here at the site, and you can buy this stuff. And they're bringing the merchants and the consumers together in this sort of social network. And they were ready to spin out hunting. They've got special names for this. The hunting one was going to be their first spin out. And then they had a second one they were spinning out. I think may have been the cannabis. I can't remember. Let's see what their share structure is. Oh, come on.
Is it bad?
7.3 billion shares. And they've got 10 billion, which means they can really keep pouring the shares out there. They are at 1/10, okay, 1/5 of a penny, 0.0018. They've got all their green ticks. No, they don't. They don't have a verified profile over here. Now, this company, it's been over a year ago. They said they were going to uplist. Now, it's one thing to say we're thinking about uplisting. We have plans to uplist. They made it sound like we're doing it. It's going to be done. And I know people who bought in just to get in before the uplisting. And it did not only not uplist, the price has just fell drastically. Any new news here recently to stimulate this company? Social Life Network, which they've changed their name to. Decentral Life, I believe, is their new name now. Social Life Network files an amended $43 million complaint in the United States Court of California. Oh, for God's sake, that's old. Forget that. Scrub, delete. That was 2021. Name change. Focused company to help make roadways safer. I don't see anything here about here. What's this one? Roll up their mergers. Technology company that holds 15% stake. They own 15% in each one of these companies, all those lists that they had, and they get 5% of their revenues until they spin them out. And then they got a whole new deal where they get like 35% or something like that. In the conversation with 17 trade show operators representing 60 shows, more than 20 million in annual revenue. That's Hunt Post. This is the one they're planning on spinning out, but they've been saying this for a while. The business model of the roll-up mergers by Hunt Post. Any dates here? No dates. No. Since the formation of the company. So again, they're telling us the same thing that they keep telling us, but they're not getting anywhere. And to know whether they are, you come over here. They're going to need an S4. I believe that's the next filing that you got to have when you're serious about putting a company on the market. I believe that's right. They got a lot of 8Ks here, which means they are doing something. I don't know what the heck they're doing. They changed their name. These are all activities, and you want to see filings. You want to see a company doing something, as long as it's not just putting shares on the market. Here they're participating in the iGuide Solar Business Engineers, something or other. So they've got things going on behind the scenes, but are they going to generate any income? Most of these apps that they've got that I've looked at just don't look like they've got a lot of generation. Hunters app, well, that one does. There's a lot of hunters in the world. But racquetball, bicyclers, golfers, yeah, I know there's a certain amount of them in the world, but is there enough to make this site make money? Not really. So I don't know how much potential the company's got, and Hunters hasn't spun out yet. So they've got a lot of shares, they got a real low price, and they're still talking the same old story. A little
Well,
scary to me.
their charts kind of reflect exactly what you were saying, John.
But yeah.
It's just a sideways, maybe very slight uptrend, but this is a year chart we're looking at. So you get a lot of
Oh,
pops, probably with some kind of news, and it comes right back down to this area, and it can come out of it. You see it right here. It can come out of it just a little. So that has potential, but how long does it take? And these pops is like 0033. This one 0032.
it's definitely
So
respecting the bottom of the channel.
it is. It is. Like I said, this is a year chart right here. If you get a little bit closer, we'll look at a 1 hour. Hold on. And it's still, even though we got some movement, there's still a lot of picket fence. I don't like the way this looks. But if I was going to play it, it's going to be in this area when it's in the bottom of the channel. And maybe give it a little bit of room because we know it can pop out of it. So that bottom is 0016. So it can pop down a little bit lower. So give yourself some, some leeway there. And you could get another pop on it, but when? Is it 2 months from now, 6 months from now? I can't tell you. I don't know. But it is respecting it. So I'll give it that much. But so far, just from looking at the yearly,
if you really like the
much.
company, this might be a place to consider an entry since we don't know what's going on. She's respecting the bottom line. She's at the bottom now. That would be a good place to start an entry if you think she's got something going on for her down the road.
Yeah, much prefer this than buying up here thinking, it's going to keep going. So don't do that to yourselves, guys. Ever.
Lily
you see
says
green
don't
bars
do that.
after green bars. You don't. I mean, you can play the momentum, but you have to be willing to get out. You can't say, oh, yeah, this company's great and buy here, and I'm going to hold it for a couple of years. That's not a good idea. And so if you're playing an immediate play, great. But if you're not, you need to be patient and wait for when they breathe and they come back down in these areas. That's where the opportunity is. All right, John, back to you.
All right, Red Hot Dollars. Good to see you here. Great. I love seeing you people come back, honestly. You want to check out VS? I think we were actually asked this one last week and we didn't get a chance to look at it. So we're definitely getting to it today. Versus System. I believe I looked at this a while ago. This all sounds familiar to me. Verse makes interactive media more fun. The company's developed a proprietary in-game rewards engine that allows game publishers and developers to offer in-game prizing across multiple platforms, including mobile, console, PC, streaming media. Brands pay to place products in games, and gamers compete for those prizes, resulting in high brand engagement. It's like going to a site and they say, spin this dial and you get this free prize if you do business with us, stuff like that. Well, I see that they've got some news over here that some things have been happening. This is all old news. Back in 2021, they were doing a public offering. And here in 2023, they're doing a public offering. This happened real quick from February 2nd to February 6th, done and over with. They started it. They closed it. They sold 2.2 million worth of shares, got all that money. The company gets it. They put it to good use, hopefully, not vacations or something. Of course, they're involved with AI. Is anybody not involved with AI? Versus Systems to partner with Resolve to bring generative AI and gamification to customer payments and credit management. And anything else here? Versus Systems receives non-compliance from the letter NASDAQ. That's not a good thing. They're going to kick me off. Oh, they didn't. I can't come to this site. I've been here too many times. They charge me $109 a year for it. And I can't pay for every site that wants me to pay now.
There's too many.
Yeah, well, there is. But we don't see a letter saying they've regained compliance. So obviously they have been under $1 for too long. If you're under $1 for more than 6 months, you get a warning. Actually, that's not true. I have seen NASDAQ beating on people's doors for being under $1 for 30 days. On day 31, they're saying, you're out of here. You've got 6 months to get your price up over $1. And if they don't, they end up down here on the OTC. And I think we've already looked at one of those companies today. So she is on the verge. We should probably jump into that and see if she's gotten a deadline, when that deadline is. Share structure for VS. Well, I don't know what it is, but it's super low. We've only got 2 million outstanding. Super low float, whatever it is. I like that. Financials for Versus. All over the place on their annuals. All over the place. And quarterly, nowhere. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. We'd have to jump into a disclosure because sometimes the site just doesn't get the information updated as quickly as they should. So it's always best to dive into a disclosure if they have one. Do they have one? No, these are interim financials. Those aren't.
They're back from 2020.
Maybe these 6Ks would probably, one of them could be. There's your securities getting on the market. And I just saw something there that's good, a 13G. I've been talking a lot about these here recently because I've seen a lot of them recently.
And that was on 2.9. We had a lot of movement on that chart on 2.9, John, 2.8, 2.9.
13G and a 13D is good news. It's a big investor coming into the company, so big that they have bought enough shares to qualify as an owner in the company. In this case, it was CVI Investments. They bought 833,000 shares, which gave them 7.8% of the company. But they are not the only one. Heights Capital bought the same amount of shares. They also got that same amount.
Wow.
So you got 2 new investors that came into this company. They are now part owners, have voting rights, can steer the company as well. And you got to remember, people don't invest big money into something they don't believe in. They must see something that we don't see yet. So yeah, the charts probably showed that fact that people
and it showed it on 2.1. I apologize, but at the beginning of February, it had a massive run.
2.1, 2.2. On 2.2, we had another 13G. Well, actually, look there. You got one on 2.2. You got one on 12.12. All these are big investors, so big that they qualify for ownership of the business. So you've got people pouring money into this company. Even though we don't see a lot of money pouring in, people are pouring money into the company. And you don't do that unless you see money in the near future coming back to you. So maybe they know something we don't. All right, let's take a look at that chart.
Sure. Give me just a second. Let me add it back. There you go. All right. So this right here, what we're looking at is the 4-hour. And that's what I was talking about. You know, we're sitting at what, 31 cents. This is a NASDAQ company. But right here on February the 1st, just a massive bar there. So we started around 62 cents that day and we hit $4.14. So, and this is a 4-hour chart. Let me see if I can go a little bit closer. 1 hour. See, I mean, that's a lot of movement from, yeah, and within one day. January 31st to 12/1.
Going from what to what?
62 cents, 60 cents to $4.13, John.
Oh, 650% gains.
That's huge. That's a huge move. So, and it could have been those 13 Gs. I don't know. It could be that just the buys, and I don't know when the buys came through. Maybe they were seen and it attracted volume.
And it's come right back to where it started from.
Yeah, right back in the channel. Right back in the channel. This is what I meant, you guys, about having time, having patience. When you see all this, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy right here. That's not the best idea. Let's see what it's going to do. It didn't even hold the breakout trends. You see? So you had time. You had plenty of time. All right. So, just let's back up again real quick. This is the last 6 months, total downtrend. This is our uptrend here recently from December. And right now is in my opinion, is a good spot. If the company's solid, if you like it, it's a good spot to take a position. So, because it's sitting right here on this trend line. Will it fall out?
Right,
if it goes out too much, then you're done. You don't want it. But it could be an opportunity right here. And all right, you agree, John?
Past 5 o'clock, but I see there's a couple things I can talk about without having to jump to any screens.
Let's do it.
HNRC. Everybody is still waiting for those bloody dividends. I mean, it is. It's been too long. They said anticipated date for the dividend was to be December 30th. Here we are at February 16th. They did bring out a news press saying everything's been filed, everything's in place. It's just a matter of time. Well, I guess that's all. So I have no updates for us. HNRC is taking a beating right now. The stock, it's market sentiment. You know, people just don't like the company right now. They've got a bad feeling against it. Until this happens, I don't expect HNRC, and most of us are invested in HNRC who have dividends coming. We bought at a higher price than it's at right now. So nobody wants to sell. So not only are we out our dividends, so it feels, we're out our investment. So once they give us our dividends, I expect everything, including us, to be better. We just have to be patient. The other one there, BBRW.
I wanted to check that.
Is that brew built warrant?
I don't know, but this person, you know, I'm putting the comment up there now, so they're holding a big bag for a while. And I do want to cover that before we leave. The last thing we want somebody to be hurt out there in the market. So, yeah, let's take a look at that.
This is brew built manufacturing. Now, let me see here. Where is?
Oh, it's a picket fence. Oh God.
It's not even showing me. Right.
Oh, it's nasty.
Okay. First off, I can straighten you out on this. There are two different tickers, BBRL and BBRW. They're both the same company, Brewbuilt. One is a ticker for the beer, making the beer and getting the beer out. BBRW is the manufacturing equipment, selling the brewing, the vats, the stainless steel stuff. That's what this company is. This is the one that sells the brewing equipment. So if you thought you were getting into Brewbuilt, the beer, which is now starting to sell around the country, wrong company. That's BBRL. BBRW, I've never much liked. I just don't see a market for selling beer equipment to be huge. Selling beer, oh yeah, you got a lot of customers buy beer. How many people buy brewing equipment? It was just, you know, fill up the cup and see which one fills up. So I haven't done any investigating on BBRW. They may have something going on right now.
They do not.
Looks like
the chart's gross. It's just nasty. I'm showing it right now on your screen, John.
I see it.
On May of 22, that's as far back as I can see on this one. So it was like 25. Right. Yeah, it was about 25 or so cents. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's 0.2425. And this is an OTC stock. So it was, you know, it wasn't too high when it came out, whatever it was doing. And it's done nothing but just go down, bleed off ever since. We hit the 0001. It came all the way back there. And that's what we're looking at here. You might have some build up, but not much. Not much at all. There's nothing going on for this one.
I would have expected if the stock had any momentum hidden away, you would see some tags, some wicks poking that 200. As soon as the 200 got close, you'd see like electricity going to it. There's none of that. It doesn't have any indications it wants to climb right now.
It's just a picket fence. 111 to 2. You might get some threes in there. I don't know where you bought at. But I tell you what, if you will come to, and I'll put a link in there. If you'll come to the Discord and come talk to us, we'll try to do, we'll try to help you more to get more specific with your position and what's going on. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to take the loss and make the cut. But put it this way, since this is an OTC stock, most brokerages charge for you to sell, for you to buy, for you to sell. If it's not even worth the $6.95 to sell, then that may be one that you just have to leave there and set yourself as a reminder not to ever do this again.
If I have a stock that goes from $1,000 down to $60, I'm not going to sell it. I just can't swallow that big. And you know what? The $60 isn't going to save my life. So I just let it sit there. And maybe 5-10 years from now, it does something. Either way, I already took the hit. if I sell it, I give up all hope. In 60 bucks, like I said, I can't even take anybody out to Red Lobster for 60 bucks.
Well, what we want to do though is teach and like show you not to do this, not to get in this position.
Right.
Not to, and it's happened to all of us. That's what John's speaking of right now. This has happened, not just you. This happens to a lot of people. So
Even a lot of
sometimes we have to
time.
take it just as a learning lesson, you guys. But if you'll give me just a second, I'll go get that Discord link. I will leave it in there for you. You got John on there, which is Jersey on the Discord, and you got me, which is LilyStar. And you are more than welcome to get in there in the free section and reach out to us or come see us on the OTC channels. We do what we can to help out you guys. We don't want to see y'all hurt. So, John, if you want to wrap it up, I'll go ahead and grab that link before we leave, and I'll post it in the chat.
So now that you found us once, no excuse not to find us again.
Oh, yeah, every Thursday, you guys. Come back.
Every Thursday, 4 o'clock, unless we fall on a holiday, some strange holiday like Thanksgiving. Strange holiday, right?
Oh, speaking of holidays, I think Monday's a holiday. Is the market open? I have no idea.
I have no idea what. Another
Is
president?
Is it President's Day? I think that's coming up.
Thank God, I guess. I like my Mondays, actually. There was a time there I didn't, but playing these warrants, that you never can tell what's going to happen. Anyways, folks, we run over. We're over 5 o'clock. Yeah. Come back next week. Me and Lily should be here. She won't have the sniffles next week, but she'll.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. And I put the link to our Discord is in the chat, you guys. We'll always
join us over at our Discord group. It's free. You got to go through the invite and just agree to our terms. You know, we want you to behave. Jump on in there. I'm in there under Jersey. I got a little wizard picture, right?
You change your name to the Wizard. That's what you were, the Wizard.
The Wizard. We got lots of news over there, lots of people to chat to. And we just don't do penny stocks. If you're interested in options, cryptos, other stocks, we have all those groups with us too on the same Discord page. Just pick the right room you want to go into. We talk, we chat. We even have live streaming, so you can watch people trading live from people who are professionals. I mean, people who are living off of their trades easily. So yeah. You have an invite to come on over, folks. Till then.
Y'all join us. And they did say that markets close Monday. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You guys, we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you for being here.
See you, folks.
Bye.